After covering the core capabilities, now we will be going through the set of extended capabilities on the Shipsy platform. For this, the customers come on to the territory optimization module where they can see the different data sets and simulations for their future forecasting and planning. The customers go towards the new planning wizard where after loading the new planning, they see the basic details of what should be the three major components. One is the data set. It could be based on historical data with some filters of where do they want to run this forecasting for. The objective and the simulation settings like rules, master data of your carriers, and other details that they could fill in. They could also use specific filters based on different other carriers. They could exclude different carriers, add service types, any specific accounts, and could also enable an future demand pattern by manually uploading CSVs on top of the historical data. The customers then select the objective, either minimum cost, fastest deliveries, balanced cost, and add another set of constraints on top of it. Once they do all of this, the system which crunch will crunch all the data and finalize the output within the next 15 minutes of what all simulations and how the transportation planning should be done. Once it runs the data, it gives you a history of all the simulation that is done, that it has completed, and it will give you a basic percentage and completion of the what are the time windows that we add, is there a load balancing which was required, and as users we can see the completion of how this data was divided into different territories with average working hours, daily cost, and the split between the own and the freelance, or the own fleet or the market vehicles. You can visualize all the territories on the map on how the visualization has happened, or you can view each and every territory. Within that, it goes through the details of each and every day plan where it gives the number of drops, the utilization, the distance covered, the total service time to be able to visualize how my territory planning and my transportation forecasting would do. Once I'm confident of the plan, I would actually then commit this plan into my roster management, where I would divide my dedicated and self fleet into the roster plan according to my forecasting. Cover um, how our customers are able to do a more day-to-day planning and run auto allocation and auto routing on the platform. The customers first go to the routing playground, and basis each geography and each location, they can set up different configurations on how the planning and scheduling should work. They can set up various different parameters like distance speed calculations, what kind of different platforms that we enable, ETA calculations, traffic model, and so on, different set of other data and constraints that they can use. Apart from that, they can also add constraints which are very specific to whether I would want time commitments to be adhered to from my existing shipments, the three-dimensional properties of my vehicles, the weight carrying capacity, and different other metrics that you can control as a part of your constraints. Once you do that, you can apply these configurations across different geographies, or you can apply everywhere. It is a default setting that we have to control different geographies and nuances of different geographies within the platform. They then can also see this the weight, height, and different capacities come from our existing masters that we control at a vehicle level. They can see what are the different available capacities, the length, height capacity, which gives them a much more granular control to visualize and make sure that the routing engine is constrained. Once the planning is done, the planning is then visualized with different what if scenarios on the platform, which gives them a view of different vehicles. How are they utilized? What is the average distance? The hours that they run? Like in this case, we see two simulations where the number of trips were 7 and versus 8 being utilized depending on the different objectives that we were trying to use. Here, the running time of per vehicle is higher than where the running time of different vehicles is lower, and gives you a clear indication of how you should be running your tactical planning. Once this planning is done, it the users are now able to see the entire trips that are available in the platform, and it gives the users planners a view of how your dedicated and market vehicles should will be split into, where dedicated vehicles would come in at certain locations and would be pre-planned basis their schedules. And in case of market vehicles, which gives our customers a view to be able to visit and book schedules and slots in cases of incoming and outbound loads. The way they do it is all the market vehicle vendors, the regional transporters, get access to the platform where they can see all the details of these trips on the platform. They can see all the different trips that have been assigned to them. They can see on the calendar that they have different slots that are available, can select any of these slots, and then book these slots.